From the Battery Street studios of KCBS Radio in San Francisco, I'm Matt Pitman, and this is Bay Current for Monday, November 29th. On a Warriors game day, Chase Center and the Mission Bay neighborhood is popping. It's about an hour and a half before the game. The gates are about to open, and these fans have been in line for a while, lined up all the way back to 3rd Street. At the Warriors flagship team store at Chase Center, the hottest new Warriors gear is flying off the shelves.
You're getting ready for Clay's return with the new City Edition
Yes, I am.
black jersey.
Yes, I am. I'm ready.
What's it going to be like when Clay comes back?
Oh, big time winner. Can't wait.
All right. Enjoy.
Yeah, I watched the games all the way from Hawaii.
That's right. Yeah, you got the Hawaii. You came all the way to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Were you here just for Thanksgiving, or did you?
Well, both Thanksgiving, Warriors game, Niners game.
Man, the trifecta.
That's why I'm so happy I found the black jersey. When I saw the jerseys on TV, I was like, I gotta get one.
Have your tickets ready? Hello.
And inside,
Right here. 1, 2. Right here to your far left, okay?
the main attraction, the NBA's top team, sitting pretty with a league best 18-2 record as I record this, and led by the NBA's best player.
Curry with the ball over to Draymond. Left side, dumped it down to Wiggins. Wiggins holding, waiting. Finds Curry, circles off a screen. 3-ball up, hits money. Cold, hard cash. Chase Center is rocking, and the Blazers want time.
All of this, a privately financed waterfront arena, the crown jewel of the NBA, a bustling, revitalized Mission Bay neighborhood, and the NBA's best team on the court is the vision that Warriors ownership had when it first announced plans for Chase Center back in 2014 and began construction in 2017. Before the Warriors game against the 76ers last week, I sat down with Warriors owner and CEO Joe Lacob to talk about the return of the Dubs to the top of the NBA standings and what it's like to see that vision finally come together.
I've been meaning to ask you, Joe, especially the last month or so, the way this team's been playing and the vibe outside this place every single night. Is this what you had in mind when you got those first renderings and you first put this plan together, when those shovels first went in the ground?
Well, I will tell you, it's actually 7 years of work. So it was a long time, and things changed over time. As you know, we had a different site at first, and obviously this is where we wound up. But with all the work and all the changes along the way and all that, you get here, you get done, and someone asked me the other day, here we are in our 3rd year, but it feels like our 1st year because of COVID. How does it, is this what you imagined? How did it come out? What would you change? And the truth is, I couldn't think of anything. So it really is something that overall, basically what we imagined, and if anything, better. We're really excited about it. We love when watching a basketball game, the sight lines was very important to us. It was important to us to have our practice facility on the same site and our business people at the same site, to have a culture. Everyone was together. It was important to not be a hockey arena because we wanted primarily basketball and then secondarily concerts to be the focus of the arena. So I'm extremely excited about it, and if you haven't been here to Chase Center, I encourage everyone to get out here and enjoy it. In fact, I have a friend down here tonight who is a great friend, and he told me it's the first time he's been to a basketball game here, and I actually was shocked. But I was so happy to have him tonight to show it to him.
Have you had a chance to just mosey outside a little bit before a game and kind of catch what the vibe is like? There's an energy out there. This is the first year where we've seen it.
No, it is. I do get out there. I'm one of these guys that loves to stay on top of things, so I walk around, whether it be on the 3rd level of the arena. Maybe you wouldn't expect me to do it, but I do it. Going out into the plaza, we've got a couple of restaurants opened up now, a 3rd opening up, and the vibe is great out there. Really enjoying it. But you know what? It's going to be better because we still have a few spots that, because of COVID and the delay, are still yet to open up. We have a park that the city of San Francisco on the other side of the arena unfortunately has been very delayed in doing, and we hope to have that in the next year. And that will change things and add to the vibe as well. And then ultimately we have a hotel that's been approved for a building right on site, which I'm dying to push the start button on as well.
Because that was close right when COVID hit, wasn't it?
Well, we had it approved. Mm-hmm. We have the design done. We have the entitlements. But we put a stop on it, obviously, because we just didn't know what was going to happen. Right. So, and I should mention also that Uber is now moved in the corporate. They're they're in the two buildings, the large office towers, and they've moved in. So yeah, it's starting to really develop a great vibe, and I think it's going to get nothing but better.
Little known fact about my guest is an epidemiologist, UC Irvine. At any point when, especially the early phases of COVID, did that give you any insights into how long we might be in the situation that we've been in?
Well, it did help. Certainly relative to many other owners of sports or entertainment businesses, I had a little bit of an advantage in that I understood vaccines, I understood the virus, I understood the diagnostic test, and how these things go. In fact, when I was in the venture capital business, we were a little ahead of ourselves, but we had a pandemic fund that we created back in the 2005 time frame. We were a little ahead of our time, unfortunately, or fortunately. But yeah, so I know a little bit about it, and it helped immediately. I was able to, educate our staff around here and say, we got to get to work. We've got to figure out, this could go a number of different ways. We've got to be ready for it. We have to be able to test. We have to be able to keep everybody safe, not only our fans, but our employees. And so I think it was helpful. I think we were ahead of the curve on a lot of it. And certainly, even when the city of San Francisco finally mandated vaccines for everybody to go to an event, I think perhaps in other cities or another team, they might have been upset by that. Yeah. I wasn't. I was actually happy about it, to be honest with you. I thought it was the right thing to do, large gatherings, to have that. And of course, I think it allows everyone to come into this arena now and feel probably as safe as you could feel anywhere, knowing that every single person in this building is vaccinated.
Right. Let's talk a little bit about the team at 15-2. Expectations were high this year based on the strong finish last year, but 15-2, Joe. I mean, this is remarkable what we've seen.
Well, I will say I thought we'd be good. I mean, you really have to think about, we had 2 years of being not so good. A lot of injuries, as we all know, from the 2019 playoffs when two of our major players got injured and Kevin left as well. Steph got injured the next year. So, we were bad. We got a high draft choice. We've had 2 years really to pile up the lottery picks and to change our coaching staff in order to help develop these younger players, become more developmentally oriented, even more than just having Santa Cruz in the G League. And so I think it really helped us to accelerate the return to where I think we want to be and where we can be. We still have our guys, Steph, Clay, Draymond, who are in maybe second half of their careers, but certainly in the prime to some extent. And we've got these young guys like Jordan Poole that has really developed. We've got 3 lottery picks, 3 other guys that are going to develop and will over time. We give it a little time we have now. We had a really great targeted free agency over the summer. We didn't have a lot of money to spend because we had a high payroll already, but we brought in 3 guys that really fit. Right. So yes, the answer is I thought we'd be good, and I said that on the radio. But how good? 15-2 at certainly this point? No. I don't think anyone could have expected that we would gel that fast and that well. But it's a great thing that we did. We had to stay injury-free. We can't get ahead of ourselves. I mean, I don't want to sound like the typical coach here or whatever, but we want to stay focused on this. A long ride, and the prize is at the end, and we want to achieve that prize.
Do you use the word gel? I think that's the right word. Very much a reflection of how this organization works from the basketball operations standpoint, the relationship you have with Bob, the relationship that Bob has with Steve, to get Steve the pieces that he needs and for you to help Bob do that. And we see that. Just 3 veteran free agents, Andre, Otto, Nemanja Bjelica. Was there a level of pride for you in seeing, I don't want to say how little you guys had to do this last season, but just what it means to have that word synergy gets overused a lot, but it really is there with the way that you guys run this organization?
Well, I think all the credit in the world has to be given to Bob and Kirk and all of our basketball operations staff who, had a great plan for the last several years in terms of how we were going to get back to where we needed to be, to allow, hopefully Steph and Clay and Draymond to win another or several, maybe, hopefully, titles. And so they deserve that. We deserve that. And we've all worked really hard. We're committed in the greatest fashion, certainly as much as you can be from an organizational standpoint. But Bob and those guys did a great job. And Steve, their job is to coach it. And, we kind of went along with their blueprint, as you say, in terms of what kind of players we know at this point. Steve's been here 7.5 years. We know what he likes and what he wants. And he has a great blueprint for success, and it's proven. So putting those pieces together for him to do that, the players have to actually do it, though. They deserve all the credit, more credit than all of us, for the way they're performing at this point. But does it give us some pride? Yes. But, I tend not to look backwards, and Bob's the same way.
Sure.
We're not smell the roses guys. We're more looking to the future kind of guys. And we have a long way to go, and we're still thinking about how can we get better.
Well, last question. What's it going to be like when 11 takes the floor and is announced for the first time when he returns?
Phenomenal. I mean, honestly, I don't know that you could script a more emotional moment than that is likely to be. Everyone loves Klay Thompson. The ownership group here loves him. The players love him. The coaching staff loves him. Our fans love him. The whole league seems to love him. He has developed such an incredible personality. He's so likable. And, I think even more than that, the snub of the 75th team bothered him. It bothered me. And I think he feels like he has something to prove. He doesn't. But it's going to be a great moment when he comes back. And, I just can't wait for that moment and to see what it's going to be like for the rest of the year with Klay Thompson.
It's going to be great. Joe, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks again to Warriors owner Joe Lacob and to the Warriors' Raymond Ritter. And thanks to our Odyssey sister station 95.7 The Game for the Steph highlight. And thank you for listening. Subscribe to the Bay Current podcast on the Odyssey app, Apple or Google Podcasts, or just about anywhere you listen. And you can catch each episode of Bay Current on the KCBS Radio YouTube page. There's a link in the show notes. That's it for today's Bay Current. I'm Matt Pitman. We'll chat with you again tomorrow.